Alright, so here we have a Graham A-row basic is what it's called. You have two quad boards here and there. You have two power blocks that are connected to your tractor power and supplying power to all the motors. You have a set of motor harnesses and a set of seed monitor harness for each side. There's 4 per side. Each individual motor is controlled separately, so it's not a 4 section shutoffs. These here are set up so that the gray side is row 1 and 2, the green is row 1 and 2, this pink is row 3 and 4, and the black is row 3 and 4. This one here is the control, this one's the seed, this one's the seed, this one's the control. If we go over here to our tablet, this is basically what the home screen of the tablet looks like. Go in here and push the Graham command. This is what our layout looks like. We'll do the row spacing, the plate count, the row count, and the gear ratio. The gear ratio is 40 because the motors have a 40:1 ratio. So we have to put a 40 in that to compensate for that. The planner ID is not, it doesn't need to be changed or anything. You have your speed set up as either a GPS, ground radar, or manual speed. We have it on manual speed right now, and you can select, whatever speed you want to select, and then go away. Your master populations, you can set these to whichever population you prefer, and then also a lift switch. You can use either imperial or metric, and then up here you can change from English to Spanish or landscape. You can change this from landscape to portrait, so that that way if you change it to portrait, then you have to look at it this way. Change it back to landscape. Go to Bluetooth. It'll scan for the Bluetooth device. Okay, we have our Bluetooth device here, the RNBT. So go ahead and pair to it. It's pairing request, push OK. And then once this turned green, that means we're Bluetooth connected and we're able to ready to go plant. So we'll push the Go Plant button. Bring us to this page. Let's have our population presets there. Since we have a manual speed of 5 miles an hour, that's where that's coming in. We have our master button here, and then our jump button. Our jump button is to take out GPS lag by pushing this and going, and then the GPS won't lag. Our prime button here is for you prime your meters before you head out, and then the left switch is either red or gray for whenever you're using it or not using it. These are individual row controls. You can up the percentage from the target population. If you want it at 100% of the target population, if you don't, you can change them to where they'll be 50% of the population. Same way with this side. These are your on off buttons. If you go over here and push master, everything comes on, all the motors start to turn. And then as your motors are turning, here's your actual population. through here. Right here, if you want to change, say, number 2 to be 50% less, you tap this down to 50, and then row number 2 is 50% less of everybody else. Your target population 17.5 rather than 3,500 or 35,000. Bump this back up. And then you can turn each individual row off by just pushing this, and you'll have every other row shut off. Okay, we'll turn all those back on, and then they'll come up. We'll slide it sideways, and you'll be able to see your populations per motor. This blue line represents the motor speed. Say if we go back here and slow motor number 2 back down to 50% again, and then go back, we'll be able to see the motor number 2 is actually lower than all the rest of them. You'll be able to change populations on the fly. 45, everything changes, back down to 25, everything will change. Come on back down. Bump it back up to 45. The motor's changed instantly, but since the monitor has to do a average, it takes a little while for the monitor to actually show up. And that is pretty much all there is to a basic.